Warning, the real events that you are about to see happened recently, and for those who work in high-level intel, you can decipher by GPS coding dates, times, and other encrypted messages and the way these things are being delivered in various channels, etc. that I don't make this shit up. And for those of you who are censoring my freedom of information while I'm being human, I get to do that so often. Never. During my naps. Did you realize that most genius never or rarely sleeps? Because in the moment of genius, the fine line between genius and insanity, and I skate it like a rock star, because I am. If you invent things, you know how to do them, even while others are mystified or doubt or put their conjecture on or whatever. Let me just say that I have helped with certain entities through my private entities, and hats off to Norton, who we have researched and developed stuff, and they've always stood by their work and stood by me, even when the Russian intel hack and they were told, and others, many, were either eliminated or told to shut the fuck up about it. When you Google Kurt Kelly global intel breach, I think you put it in 2014, or just put that in, you'll start to get the picture, and then follow subsequent hashtags and things from our blogs. The accounts that have been hacked by Melissa English, Google, NSA, Russians, and others, social media by also Ron Hubbard's people. Ted, go fuck yourself all the way back to hell and take your demons with you, because if not, I will arrange for your personal escort real soon, bitches. You don't mess with stuff that I've done, and yet people still do. Now, the problems, dipshits, is if we underwrote the base code for anything any of you jackasses are using, even Facebook, Zuckerberg, or whatever, you didn't invent the base codes. I've been writing since before DOS .10 or go fuck yourself. I've been writing on dial-up party circuits and dialing into libraries of Congress and National Archives and stuff since childhood, back in the early to mid-60s or more. Maybe I predate Marconi. Go finger. Go finger is a code of part of the encryption decryption we use for really high level intelligence that intergalactically is so hard to decipher. Your chances of doing it are better in a nuclear windstorm on planet Earth if they go to extinction number 7, because there will be no number 8. That you can bank on. And if I say you can bank on it, and you think I'm jacking around, good fucking luck, Chuck. Do you know what my kill rate is with anything I do? Serious wound to kill if you mess with a bitch like me. According to classified, highly classified records by all intel globally that knows the level I play at, your odds are about as good as in a nuclear windstorm in final extinction of this universe. If you jackasses, any of you, Tukanchu, Putin, Trump, Saudis, or all you people with all these too much goddamn nuclear shit, I don't understand, which I've understood since before I went into NORAD and Plantech and HARP and installations, that there's no records of any kind that you could track when I did that. Yet I have. Hell, the U.S. Army prison. See, it depends on where I'm taking you when you really piss off a bitch like me. And when you think you've killed me in the real world, understand I'm helping and have been long before you realized it. From all dimensions of sight and sound, even from Mars back. Because if I wrote the code to send back the Mars Pathfinder mission in dial-up, you can better believe I had a lot of shit encrypted that wouldn't occur. And you'll click, I agree. And it didn't matter even in the event of bankruptcies that you forced upon me, or war or other crimes you put in my files, that from infinity to infinity and beyond the infinities. Remember, I'm the guy for backups, for backups, for backups. This is live. We're in the moment. There are no dress rehearsals. I do it on take one. You fuck it up, you better have had a good reason, because you all know how I feel about that, or you lie to me even on the small details. You know how I feel about that, and those who are at the very highest levels operating with me and have been for years, through epiphanies they've watched me have and that they've had, and can still look me in the eye and say, you've always told me the truth. You've always kept my word, and your word in the highest regards. And for those angels and architects that have helped put it together all the way to this level of communication. And you know who you are, because I've told you in person how I felt if you were listening. If you weren't, wow, shame on who here. I've never lied to anyone. Now, I haven't given you the answers you've always wanted. At some point, if you've annoyed me enough, I'm just like, get away from me. And for those who know what that means, I'm trying to keep this as PG as possible, and to you, or just, no, you can rate whatever you want. I really don't care. That's on you and your predispositions and your ability to shut the noise off in your brain. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, do whatever you have to do to slow down to comprehend the vibrations and tones I'm emitting. Even though I have been attempted on my life and every detail that we've disclosed, and much more that you will never maybe even get access to, even if I decide to or not, it's on me. This is my freedom of information intergalactic. This is my freedom of speech. This is my work. And for those of you indignant, totalitarian, and you know what I'm thinking, demons who think you can get away with overwriting my works, dominating me, or taking advantage of me, or stand that snowballs a chance in hell and beyond infinity through the Akashic Records spreading any further. I want you to re-examine your truths and what you've absorbed, because obviously you haven't been paying really full attention. You don't mess with my works in any way, shape, or form. If I own it in all formats, in all times, and we put disclosures on, if you altercate it without consent in any form, you even blip it wrong, and it doesn't reflect what I've released or what the records release in the overwrite codes, because there are times government intelligence, whatever the fuck you think that is, and high-level intelligence and other stuff, gets twisted by some sisters who like to play shit they shouldn't be playing with. If you touch my stuff, I don't give it who you think you're authorized by. You have an official stand-down from me, because I'm not asking anymore. I'm demanding it. For peace on this planet and a chance to rebuild the universe you've destroyed, whether you want to believe it or not. Or you wouldn't have watched this message because you would have discounted it. Or if you're already discounting it, that's on you. I never assume. I don't assume you comprehend anything, so sometimes I get really vivid for you neophytes, parasites, barnacles, snitches, bitches, criminals with badges, or other jackasses who think you're running my world or anybody else's when you go beyond free will, run riot, and you take away the inability for someone to have the right to have boundaries. And if you know them well enough to even be making such an advance of any type that would be offensive, be prepared for consequences that you might not expect, because real angels who are trying to save the fallen angels and those working in the right direction are the lights that they should. And if you've watched my stuff around the world, and however I put it out, unless others have tampered with, oh, that'd be so original. Don't think I don't know who you are. If I helped develop the hardware, software, firmware, and other wares and intel and encrypting and encoding that I claim to, which I have, why would I claim to be the master of codes and perpetrate a lie? That would be a very thread of everything I've talked about. Whether I've disclosed this in the past or not doesn't really effing matter. If you paid attention, from the very early inception, I've been highly educated. Some would say I'm an old soul. Some would say I'm a timeless soul, a nomad soul. Whatever you assume, that's on you. I don't give a flying fang ding or whatever you want to call it. Edit in what possibilities for the maturity level of the individual who might be trying to absorb this or not. I do mean pay attention. Whether you like it or not, it's not when the students are ready, the class periods or class starts or whatever the jackass shit you're hearing right now. Rule. Oh, somebody's tampering with this. I just saw the blip. Dudes, he who blinks first always loses. I don't blink unless you put shit in my eye, put stuff in the air, or fuck with me, because I check in meter lightings and wherever I'm shooting from, and unless you've cracked my phone or fucked with my stuff. Oh, did I use a word you don't like? Thank the Catholic Church for that acronym, fornication under common knowledge, F.U.C.K. Anybody censors my work in any format, any church, any religion, any government, any organized crime, any private sectors, private little cult groups, and all you other Illuminati snitch bitches and dumb, which has defined on the Doomsday Monuments coming up, when? At a major underground installation near you, because you're using my intelligence to get that information from their satellite. So guess who has the final overrights? I am not playing anymore. I've done a lot of declassifying and full disclosure of stuff I never had to disclose. But if you keep messing with a son of a beach like me, you clearly are dumber than a box of rocks, and you deserve to be trumped all over on your back to hell. But in public display in hell, as defined by the U.S. Army and Uncle Kurt and others in prior transmissions, maybe you should do your homework before you push any more buttons, you goddamn dumb fucks. Or R.I.P. for eternity in the Akashic Records, served up. Sealed in your own abyss. Rock on, MF.